Right, morning guys. It is Thursday the 16th of November. It's I've taken the day off work and come down to the club water for what is going to be quite a chilly day. I think it's current temperatures about 4 degrees with highs of maybe 7 or 8 degrees obviously later on, but we've got a nice zone of low pressure over us at the moment, so we've got overcast skies. We might get a little bit of rain later, but I'm hoping the fish are still on the munch because water temperature is probably still fairly up. This is a deep lake. It's going to take quite a long time for the temperatures to really kick in, and to be fair, in the last few days we've actually had sort of 14-15 degrees, so it's been very up and down. So overnight it does get cold, but some of the daytime temperatures have been pretty warm at times, so I'm hoping we can still get some fish out. They're still on the feed before winter properly kicks in. We'll see. So I've got the stuff out the car, I'm going to get everything set up and we'll get fishing. Right, as you can see, everything is set up. Rods are both out on the spot. Left hand one, I've gone about halfway across to the island. I had a bit of a lead around, found a nice solid spot about halfway across. So I've put a solid bag on that. And then the right hand rod back out on the spot that I've had all of the action from, or the vast majority of the action from previously. I know that's in deep water over there, and at this time of year with the temperatures being quite so chilly, I suspect they're going to be heading down into those areas that are a little bit more constant temperature. As you can see from the water levels, we've had quite a bit of rain in the last month or so, and this lake has basically filled again. It does get higher than this. Some of the guys I've spoken to says this swim actually gets flooded, but it was certainly a good 3-4 feet down at least, I suspect. And you can see from the far side where I was previously stood on the bank fishing, that is now underwater again, so the lake is returning back to its sort of more natural levels. Right, it's just gone 20 past 9 and I've had a mare. I thought I'd get a better angle of what's around the corner there, watching the lake. Trod on that log and ended up in there. So right now my shoes and trousers are soaking wet, my socks are soaking wet. I've got a pair of gloves on my feet. Fortunately I did have the salopette, so I've been able to swap the trousers out, and I'm just hoping that things will dry off over the next couple of hours and I can get them back on should I have a run. I've laid out a little a little mat so I've got something I can play the fish on without getting my socks dirty, but never mind. I'm still warm, which is the main thing, and I say I don't plan on walking backwards and forwards too much, so hopefully the shoes and whatever you can dry off a bit, and if I do get anything in between times I'm just going to basically stand on the mat and play it. But what an absolute nightmare. You would have thought that log was fairly flat. It is fairly flat, but one slight miscalculation on how slippy it is, and I've ended up in water basically which is about thigh deep. So unfortunately the camera wasn't running, so you won't get to see it, but I can assure you it wasn't I wasn't in there very long. Right, well, we've had a bite, and it's a bloody bream. I should have known, really, shouldn't I? Not really what I want to get my feet soaking wet for, or freezing cold, but it is what it is. Come here. Right, there we are. Nice size bream, but not obviously what we're here for. Did the usual couple of seconds of bouncing around, struck into it, felt like there was a bit of weight there to begin with, little bit of a fight, and then what all bream do, they give up and you just reel them straight in. But it's a nice sized bream, but we'll get him back, get the rod back out, and hopefully we can get something that we're actually here for, which is the carp. And now I've got slime all over my hands. Right, in again, and I get the feeling it's another bloody bream, judging by the way it's coming in. Yes, it is. Unbelievable. Literally just in the middle of getting the other rod back out again, or just getting set up, and we have a second bream on the bank. Pretty much identical size to the last one. That's two rods to set up again, or get cast back out on the spot again. This is about as much life as you get out of a bream. So we'll get him unhooked as well. Come here. This one's actually a bit smaller than the last one. Very silvery bream. I'm much used to the dark bronzes and what have you, but I don't, to be perfectly honest, I'm not a very knowledgeable on bream, so whether they're different strains or not, I don't know, but he can go back and hopefully we can get some carp. And whether this is because I am fishing with solid bags with a lot more sort of powder and pellet content rather than boilies, I don't know, but we'll see. We've had a couple of fish out. Hopefully we can get the carp feeding instead. Right, so it's just coming up to 10:15. That little flurry of activity, even though it was a pair of bream, at least I know there's something down there feeding. And if the bream are down there feeding, there is that possibility that the carp are doing the same. So I've put the rigs back out on the same spots again. Another fresh PVA solid bag on each rod, and we'll see what transpires next. So say if we start getting plagued by bream, we might have to rethink things a little bit, but at least something's down there feeding, and hopefully the carp aren't very far away. But I've decided to put my socks and shoes back on. I figured it was probably more sensible to have slightly damp feet that are hopefully at least self-heating in a tight pair of shoes than having my feet out all the time. So that's my foot update for 10:15. Anyway, back to the fishing. Hopefully we can get some more interest in the coming hours, but as I said, both rods have gone off now, so at least we've had some sort of interest out there. Right, it's just coming up to 12:30. I haven't had any real beeps or anything since those two bream earlier on, but what I've just had was a very big show over to my right hand side towards that tree there. So I've just reeled in the right hand rod, put a little PVA stick on and thrown it out there. So there's been very little action with regards to fish showing themselves, so the first real show that I've had I've really got to go after. So yeah, reeled in that right hand rod and put it out at sort of distance over to the right hand side there, and we'll see if that gets any interest or not. Right guys, it's just gone 2 o'clock and I've decided to call it a day. There's not anything going on at the moment. My feet are still soaking wet and somewhat chilly, so I'm going to go home, have a shower, try again another day. I think we've had those 2 bream out, but very little in ways of carp showing themselves. I've had the odd few topping out, but they certainly haven't been down on my bait, so I'm gonna call it a day for now and get prepped for my next fishing trip. I don't know at the moment whether that's going to be here or I've got in about 3 weeks time I'm off to Thailand to fish gillums, so I'll see how time allows over the next couple of weeks whether I can get another day session in here or not. But if not, it'll be Thailand and 4 days on Gillums Lake. So anyway, that's me for today. So hope you enjoyed it. Very short session today, not a lot going on. Couple of bream, but we can't win them all.